Rose, and along with my wife, Janet, who's actually mentioned in the bulletin, as you can see on that, Janet. Along with my wife, Janet, we've been members of the Wellesley Congregational Church for about 35 years. Now, why have we gone to a small village in Zambia twice? And why have we committed ourselves to returning to Zambia for as long as we are able to do so? The answers to these questions and the journey start with Janet's witness in church on a fall day in 2007. Janet spoke movingly about poverty in Africa. Janet urged the church to do something. Janet did not know where her witness would lead. Where it led, of course, was right here to the city of Newton and to Communities Without Borders that identifies U.S. partners willing to work with and sponsor villages in Africa. CWB identified for us the village of Fumbella, which is on the outskirts of Lusaka. And when we asked why Fumbella, we were simply told it's the poorest of the poor. Now, before we headed for Fumbella in the summer of 2008, I heard that there was no furniture in the one-room local community school. Not knowing exactly what I would do, I decided that I would buy some tools. And I had a partner of mine buy some lumber, which was delivered to the schoolhouse, one-room local community schoolhouse. So when we arrived, the lumber was there, I had my tools, and I simply started working with the tools and building a simple bookcase. At first, nobody was around me. Within about 10 minutes, I was surrounded by 8 or 9 teenage boys. In a country with very, very high unemployment, these teenage boys had literally nothing to do. They were too old to continue to attend the local one-room community school, but they did not have the $300 that it would take to go to a government school. They were all very eager to learn something. They crowded around, jockeying for position, each of them wanting to learn how to work with the tools. Now, there's no electricity, and you can imagine what it's like working with tools and trying to build something. But in a couple of days, we had built a couple of simple bookcases. As we were leaving, one of my young carpenters, 18-year-old Vincent Lungo, looked me right in the eye, and he asked me, this is as we were about to get on the bus and leave, he asked me, "Will you come back?" He was looking right at me. 4 simple words, powerfully posed in the form of a question. How could I say no? I said that I would. And as I said that I would, it occurred to me that just as important as going to Zambia is letting them know that you will be back, that the trip there is not some once-in-a-lifetime flyby. And so we returned in 2009, and we've basically committed to continue to go to Zambia as long as we're able to do so. This time I was very anxious to see Vincent Lungo. I had not been in communication with him for a whole year. I was thrilled to see him. As a result of the generosity of donors, he now attends the government-run school. He was wearing his school uniform. We walked to his school together. Now, the earlier summer, I had encouraged him to continue to work with tools. But this past summer, it became clear as I talked to Vincent that he's way beyond carpentry. I asked him how he's doing in school. He said, great. I asked him what his favorite subject is. Told me he likes studying English the best. He has also discovered that he's a very good soccer player. He has made a local team. He hopes to move up to a regional, perhaps even national team. Imagine it, $300 in 1 year. And in just that 1 year, his entire outlook on life had changed from one of hopelessness to one of having a future. And my hope is that maybe in Vincent's lifetime, he will help to change some lives himself. And I hope also that he will help to improve conditions in Fumbella. Vincent is just one of the 67 students who are attending government school this year as the result of donors' generosity. We want to keep track of these young people, follow their work, and help others attend government schools in Fumbella. So I think you can see why we are emotionally connected, hooked, if you will, and why we want to accomplish more. There are many, many villages, perhaps tens of thousands of villages, like Bello, that need help. And perhaps more importantly, on an individual level, there are many millions of Vincents waiting for the chance to go to school. We know of your work. We hope that we will continue these conversations together because I think it's so important that we learn from each other and share our stories. And I also hope that you will share these stories with others whom you meet. Thanks very much.